it's all the time. You give me a good luck tie, it's all the time.
You're not taking it off the rest of the year then?
Maybe not.
Kevin said Coach had a father-son talk with him last night, that the type that you don't want to hear, but you know you need to hear.
No, Coach, after the 2 losses, and it's no different. Coach is continually involved with the team and helping us plan, talking to them. He usually comes down for a little bit of practice. He doesn't stay for the whole practice, but he's around. And he did a great job of getting them focused on what's really, really important. And when you got a young team, sometimes, they just don't know how to handle adversity exactly. They get to worry about themselves, and those kind of things. And that's natural. That's natural for all young people when adversity hits. And he did a great job getting them focused. They came to practice. We tried to keep that up. And the guys did it. I thought we would play well because in shoot-around today, they were very good in shoot-around today. Got a lot of life to them in the locker room. And, these guys want to win. These guys want to win. And we got back to playing Bearcat basketball today, which is defend and rebound. And as long as we do that, we'll have a chance to win every game. As long as we defend and rebound. There are going to be some nights we're not going to shoot it obviously like we did tonight. I like to shoot it like we did tonight, every night out. But that a lot of nights you're not going to shoot it that well. Defend and rebound, you'll be in the game, and you'll win a close one, as opposed to this one that got pushed out because we made shots.
Is that one of those runs where you just get out of the way, sit down, have a rest on the bench?
You got to let your guys play. You got to let your guys play, and we were in the flow. The whole thing started because we established ourselves inside the second half. We guys did a great job of throwing it in there. We got that going. Then we got a couple steals in the press, and then all of a sudden we got in transition. We got some buckets, and some guys were open. I told Fried at halftime when they came out and were shooting, I said, Fried, look, you're going to play more this half. You got to be ready to shoot the ball, though. You can't be hesitant, because he's been a little hesitant. I said, I don't want you shooting bad shots. I said, but when you got an open look, you're in the flow. You knock a couple down, and all of a sudden, Jermaine makes one. And one of the best things about it was, I think, and I can't remember if he made it or not, we got during that run, we got another break where Troy's blowing down the floor, and the whole time, right after Jermaine made that 3, he's looking to find him. And he punched the gap so that he could get Jermaine an open shot. That's intelligent play. When you have intelligent play out of your guys and they're thinking that way. Troy wasn't thinking about it. He was thinking about, hey, he just banged one. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get him in position to make another. And when you got your point guard thinking that way, you got a chance to be pretty good on the offensive end. And again, anytime we came out of a huddle and called something, whatever, they did a great job of executing. So, we're coming on the offensive end. But again, it all goes back to when you make shots, your offense is always going to look better. What won the game was defending and rebounding, particularly in the second half. Our defense was much better the second half. We shored up a couple things that we weren't doing, and that's what won the game.
Coach, 11 straight makes to start the half. Have you ever seen anything like that, the way they did it?
It's pretty good. Like I said, I'll take that every time out. Matter of fact, I'll take 10 out of 11. I won't even be greedy. I'll take 10 out of 11.
Magical halftime speech or anything?
Yeah, we focused all on defense. All we talked about at halftime was defense, because we weren't getting ball pressure. We weren't getting near enough ball pressure, and they were zipping a couple passes on slips and stuff inside. And we kept getting on the side of guys in the scoring areas. In the press, you can heat a guy up, and you may get on his side because you're trying to speed him up. But in the half court, you got to get squared up and stay in front and keep him out of the lane, or he's got to have a hard time driving and make it tough, which we did a much better job of in the second half. We talked all about defense in the second half. That's all at the halftime. That's it. No, we didn't talk about offense. And that's the message to the team. Offense will take care of itself. We have a team that's unselfish. We have a team that is growing up and getting a little smarter basketball-wise. Offense take care of itself. We have to defend and rebound like Bearcats of the past and keep that tradition going. We keep that tradition going, we'll be fine. Had 9 offensive rebounds tonight. We out-rebounded them by, they had a lot of missed shots. So, but that's the whole message. That's the key to our season.
Coach, it's one game out of 35 or whatever, but how important was it to kind of bounce back after a 2-game road?
Well, you got to hold. First of all, you have to hold service at home. You know, if you want to be in the race for the conference championship, you have to hold service at home. You can't lose at home. And then obviously, after losing 2 in a row and turning the ball over like we did, that's the best thing we did on offense today. We only turned it over 8 times. So as well as we shot it, like I said, that's going to come and go. Only turned it over 8 times. This is the best thing we did, I thought, on offense. It was huge that we bounced back today. We couldn't come out and play poorly and struggle. They needed the confidence, booster, and again, I was proud how they approached the game, and Coach did a great job with them guys. I'm telling you, getting them focused in on what was important, what was really important.
What was the mood like on the trip back from Memphis?
Quiet, very quiet. Very quiet.
When Mick is able to come in and have a talk with them, the fact that he's watching from a different perspective, he's watching from the TV, or he's watching it, he's not there, right there on the sideline, right? Does that maybe send a different message to them?
Well, he says it all the time, and he tells them when you're away from it, when you're in the game, and like he'll say sometimes, he says, it's hard for me to tell exactly how hard they're playing because I'm not there live, and it's hard on TV to tell that. But he has a different perspective in terms of he can kind of see everything as it's happening. You're not in the moment, and he's like I said, Mick's really smart. He's very, very good at analyzing things, analyzing scouts, analyzing games, and when you step away, you get a little emotional as a coach. We all do. And when you can step away from it and just take it from an analytical standpoint, then you got a great perspective on it, and you get a little different perspective on it. I think you do, sometimes when you're in the middle of it. And very proud of Jermaine Sanders. I mean, the senior stepped up tonight. We felt like we needed to make a lineup change, and you go to your senior, and Jermaine bleeds red and black. He's down for the count for the program, whatever it takes. And after playing only 9 minutes at Memphis, he steps into tonight and plays his butt off and plays great. And that's a guy with true character, because he wasn't pouting or worried about he only played 9 minutes at Memphis. He was ready to go, and he was a huge difference in the game. Obviously, not only the shots he made, he threw the ball inside great. I mean, 3 or 4 times he was the post feeder, and sometimes those guys dribble, so you don't get an assist for that. But he's the guy that facilitated the guy being able to get an inside bucket.
Do you get a spark when he does things like where he was cutting off of Octavius? Does that, spark the offense maybe a little bit more?
Absolutely, and it makes it hard for teams to go double tank. If they go double him, and he can hit cutters and be a passer, then you got to think twice about going to double him. And Tay's struggling right now just a little bit on the finish, although he was better today. But I think he was better on balance today, and he's got to trust his jump hook. I keep telling you, trust that jump hook, man. And he will. But that was big. The 2 cuts for layups were big for our team, because again, it makes you think twice about doubling the post. And obviously, those are the more buckets you get in that paint tonight. We had 34, and we only gave up 18. We've been giving up 32. We flipped the switch tonight.
Is that a switch you guys have been contemplating, moving Jermaine into the starting role?
Just a decision after we didn't play well at Memphis. We needed to do something different. We had 2 straight losses. We needed to do something different, and we did. And that's no indictment on Shaq. It's just we made a move, and it worked.
You talked earlier, previously, about just finding that right fit and chemistry with whatever 5 guys are out there
in the rotation. And and I'll be honest with this team, you want to develop a group of really steady guys, night in and night out. The leading scorer is probably going to change, but if you can get consistency out of your guys, that's when you got a really good team and you feel really good as a coach. You trust them. Hey, on a bad night, this guy's going to get me 8. On a good night, this guy's going to get me 16. Okay, but you know what you're going to get out of him every night. And I keep saying it. The easiest place to be consistent is the defensive end and rebounding end. There's a play that was missed in the first half. I guarantee nobody will think of it, but it was a huge play early in the game. Jermaine was on the right-hand side facing the basket on our end, and I think it was the 7-foot kid, okay, went crashing from the wing, and Jermaine Sanders frickin' stopped him stone cold in his tracks on a block out, and the kid almost flipped over top of him, and Jermaine got the rebound. That was big, because he sent a message early in the game, we're blocking you out tonight. And little things like that's what a senior veteran guy can do for you. Nobody probably noticed that, but as a coach, you know how big that is.
How big for Kevin to get going? He's still been a little inconsistent, but more and more he's starting to put it together.
Last few games, you're starting to see it in him. Kevin's gone to work, and Kevin has listened to what Coach Cronin and myself both have been telling him, that, look, Kev, worry about defending, worry about taking care of the basketball and not turning it over. Shots will be fine. And he's got himself in the gym and shot every day. He gets in there and he shoots on his own besides what we do in practice. When you work at it and you listen, things will turn around for you, And Kev obviously is playing really well right now. We need him to continue. If he can continue that, and we get, there again, there's another consistent guy. Right now, the other night Gary and I weren't great at Memphis, but for the most part, those two pretty consistent. Troy's becoming very consistent. You get Kev consistent, you start building them one after the other in consistency. Then you got a team that can be really good and beat a lot of people.
Well, celebrate with the home crowd tonight.
Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. For the Bearcat fans that's what we needed. We needed people, even though we lost 2 in a row, to come out, help these guys, support these kids. That's what the Bearcat Nation's all about. Is you pick your brother up, and they did tonight. They really helped us, and I want to say to all the fans how much we appreciate it. And we got to make this home court one of the toughest places in the country to come in and win. And when they show up, it sure does help us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.